You know, I have a lot of friends in Chicago, and they're not dumb, but you know who is? The people that run Chicago. So let's go ahead and talk about it. What's up, Wolverines? Welcome back to the channel. My name is John Crump, and this is John Crump News, where we discuss 2A every day. And today we're going to be talking about Chicago and some of the dumbass stuff that they do. But before I do that, if you can do me a massive favor, go ahead and smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications, and leave me a comment down below because it's all engagement. And engagement is key to growing the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about Chicago and what is going on in the Windy City. Chicago is suing Glock over their Glock handguns. Basically, what is going on is a lot of people are importing Glock switches from China off Chinese websites like Wish, Alibaba, and other websites because they don't care because they're not going to be charged with selling Glock switches. So a lot of people, especially in the inner cities for some reason, have been ordering these Glock switches, which converts a regular Glock pistol into a machine gun. Chicago, instead of going after the places that are selling them or the people that are buying them, have decided to go after Glock themselves. Basically, what Chicago is suing over is the Consumer Protection Act because they are saying that Glock should make their handguns harder to convert to fully automatic machine guns, which is absolutely ridiculous because you can convert almost any type of semi-automatic handgun or rifle into a machine gun. But Glock are the most widely used handguns on the planet, so of course there's going to be more people converting Glocks than any other handguns. So Chicago is suing Glock, claiming that they are negligent because Glocks are easy to convert into machine guns. Chicago is absolutely ridiculous when it comes to lawsuits. If you do not recall, which you might not because it's not really gun related, but Chicago sued car manufacturers last year because cars were easy to steal. Yes, they actually sued car companies because people in Chicago stole cars. So instead of blaming the criminals, they blamed the people that made the cars, which is absolutely ridiculous. Yes, I am talking about the Kia Boy TikTok trend. TikTok is a virus, but it shouldn't be banned either. Okay, so do I think it's just Chicago being dumb? No, I do not believe so. I do believe what they are trying to do is trying to cost Glock a lot of money. Basically, what Chicago and all these other liberal, hive-minded places do is sue gun companies and sue other gun-adjacent companies to try to make it very, very expensive to operate. It is lawfare. If we look at what is going on with JSD is being sued through lawfare as well, and now Glock is being sued through lawfare. The point of these lawsuits is to make it incredibly expensive to operate. Chicago knows their chance of winning the lawsuit is slim to none because Glock is protected by the PLCAA, which is a federally mandated law saying that you cannot sue gun manufacturers over the misdeeds of people that use their guns. But Chicago is still going to sue them because Glock has to pay out of their own pocket to defend these lawsuits. What Chicago does is they use the money from the taxpayers. So if you live in Chicago, you are funding this lawsuit. And not only that, they are being helped out by Brady, Everytown, and all these anti-gun groups that are actually using taxpayers' money to target companies like Glock. It is 100% lawfare. They know that they're not going to win, but they are just trying to cost Glock a lot of money. What they are trying to do is trying to get these companies to bend to their will by attacking the bottom line, which is absolutely ridiculous. What Chicago is doing and other cities have done around the country is use taxpayer money to launch attacks on the Second Amendment. They are launching attacks on your gun rights and my gun rights. They might be attacking Glock. What they are trying to do is cost Glock a lot of money. Their actual target is you and me. So what they want Glock to do is raise the prices of their handguns to make them less affordable for the average everyday American. And who does that hurt the most? The people that need it the most. The people that live in Chicago, for example. There's a lot of crime in Chicago, and a Glock or any type of handgun will give you the ability to defend yourself against attacks from the criminal element that is in Chicago, which unfortunately there is a lot. There's a reason why they call it Chirac, and it's not exactly safe. So the whole entire plan is to price the average everyday American out of the gun market to make them more dependent on the government. This is about the fundamental hatred of gun rights. The people that run Chicago want you to be dependent on them. They do not want you to have the ability to defend yourself. They do not want you to be your own first responder. That way, they can campaign on lowering crime and everything else and keep power. This is a power struggle, and they don't want the people to have the power. They only want the power. So there's a few things that we can do. We can fight back. We can push back against this, even though the lawsuit will go forward and it's going to cost a lot of money. But what we can do is vote the people out that control the city, because your best interest is not in their perspective. They are looking out for themselves and themselves alone. What they are doing is taking tons of money from Brady, Everytown, and all these anti-gun, anti-freedom, anti-liberty groups and doing their bidding for a buck. That is exactly what they are doing. So we have to get these people out of office. We also have to support groups that fight back. In Chicago, there is a woman named Rhonda Ezell, who is a good friend. She is a wonderful person. Check out Ezell versus the City of Chicago. It's one of the most monumentous Second Amendment cases ever, and she has an organization called Chicago Guns Matter. So you definitely need to check that out. You need to check her out. She is a wonderful person, and she lives in Chicago, and she fights for gun rights every day in the city. Because without people like her in Chicago, it is going to be hard to fight back. But she's a tough woman, and she has a lot of support, and she has kicked Chicago's ass in the past, and she will do it in the future. But the main thing is we need to get these greedy politicians out of office and replace them with freedom-loving, pro-liberty Americans. Until we do that, nothing's going to change. So if you're in Chicago, you have your work cut out for you, but get out there, get involved, and get off the bench. All right, guys, that is it. So stay ever vigilant, stay ever free, keep in the fight. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Wolverine's motherfucker.